Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, we're going to show you how to use form-based input grids in the designer. Grid type of inputs are inherently hard to work with, especially on mobile devices. The limited screen space can force users to scroll vertically, or even worse, horizontally. You might even confuse which cells you're entering data into. In mobile applications, it's almost always a better idea to transform grid type of inputs into a vertical form structure where all inputs are entered one by one. But in this case, you would be sacrificing visibility of data entered in a nice table format. Formula-based inputs aim to solve this by bringing in the handy features of vertical data entry and displaying it on a table. You can activate form-based inputs for any input grid to automatically enable this feature on applicable modules. Let us show you how this works on an example. Here we have an application that helps track projects within an organization. On the first page, we're collecting project details like the project name, managers, and dates. On the second page, we are collecting team members' information, and on the third page, we have specific tasks. The input grid on the third page can be especially hard to input data from a mobile device, so let's try to convert this into a form-based grid. To enable form-based grids, we need to go to the User Interface Designer and select our page. Now we need to click the input grid to go to its configuration menu. Type of input method is the option that determines how this grid is going to be worked. By default, this option is going to be inline. The inline option is the default for any input grid where you can enter data on a cell-by-cell basis. Selecting form-based will create additional controls for this input grid where users can click to add or edit any of the rows. This means that users are going to be editing the grid data on a row-by-row basis instead of doing this cell-by-cell. Form-based Start Empty Grid does the same thing as the form-based option, but with this selection, the form that is created will be empty regardless of what default values come from the named ranges. When you're done, remember to press the Submit button. Let's do a preview and see what this looks like. Let's start creating our project. Now let's add a few team members. Moving on to the Tasks page, notice that we have additional controls here. To add new data into this table, we need to press the New button. The system automatically generates a set of inputs that is based on the input grid we've created before. Editing a row can be done by selecting a row and then clicking the Edit button. Data from the input grid can be deleted by pressing the Delete button. Please note that an input grid will not allow more new records than the underlying table name range contains. This means that if the table name range contains 10 rows in the Excel workbook, users are not going to be able to add an 11th row by pressing the New button. Thank you for watching.